everything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is Tuesday, November the 18th, 2025, and it's K-Dub Tuesday here at 93.7 The Ticket. Nebraska will travel this weekend to face Penn State this Saturday at 6 p.m. on NBC, and Penn State is calling for a whiteout against Nebraska, Bock.
Oh yeah, whiteout senior day. If you watched or saw any of their press conference from Coach Terry Smith, the interim coach, he's very emotional. So it's gonna be an emotional day. You throw in the Matt Rule, alma mater stuff. I know he said in the press conference, said the right things, right? That he's not gonna let it bother him. He's been there a lot of different times, but this time is a bit unique considering some rumors that were going around the last month or so. So it is definitely going to be an interesting game. Whiteout, like you said. I'm interested to see if that stadium's full. Penn State, much like Nebraska, even in the down years, they're interested in what happens with their team and how it is moving forward. But I did see tickets for like $7 to get in on the secondary market, so it's not going to cost you a whole lot if you're trying to get into the game. But hopefully, I expect definitely a competitive game. Penn State's been competitive despite their losing record, and of course the turmoil this season. But this is definitely going to be an interesting game, a good game, and one with the atmosphere that's going to be intriguing one way or the other.
When I talk about this part of it, Bach, throw the records out. Throw Penn State record out. Just their last three games, they've played excellent. They played enough ball to try to defeat Iowa, defeat a Indiana team. When you talk about what's his name, Terry Smith, who got his first job with Matt Rule. So this is going to be important to him. It's going to be important to I think Penn State, when you talk about it, because now you got a guy who they was talking about in the run for your job, but now you got your coach in place, not in place, but you have the intern coach that you want to bust your butt for. It's like a Mickey Joseph situation when we talk about when Scott Frost got fired. He has to go out there and prove a lot of things. He has to go out there and prove that he could be the guy that was once up for the job till Nebraska signed him for a new contract wise.
Yeah, I watched his press conference. It's a very, very touching press conference. He's a guy that I think he bleeds that blue and white. His dad played there. Just listening to his press conference, and then there was a clip of him at halftime of the last game when he spoke to the team right before the second half. And I tell you what, if that didn't inspire you, it inspired me today on the racquetball court just listening to it. So, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be, I think it will be a whiteout. I think it's going to be more people there than you think, being that it's senior day. And those guys are basically playing for a playoff, a bowl game. So this is their time to earn it. And I think it'll be a great game.
All right, guys, let's get into some Husker news. Emmett Johnson named as a Doak Walker semifinalist, given to the nation's best running back. He's not the top right now, I think, but it's a group of 10 guys. I'll read these running backs off. Cam Cook Jr. He's a sophomore at Jacksonville State. Cameron Dickey, sophomore at Texas Tech. Ahmad Hardy, he's a sophomore at Missouri. Caleb Hawkins is a freshman at North Texas. Robert Henry Jr. is a senior at University of San Antonio, Texas.
UTSA.
Yeah. Keywan Lacey, a running back that we think we had him one time, but he decommitted. When is it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so he's with him for a sophomore from Ole Miss. And Jeremiah Love, a junior, some say, who's probably one of the best players in college football. Don't have the stats to really say he is, but hey, when you look at the kid physique, 6'1", 217, has Notre Dame back in the running for a playoff pitcher. We'll talk about that as we go on through the week, Bock, and they get down to the finalist part of it.
Yeah, it's obviously it's an absolute honor for Johnson to be among the semifinalists. Not a shock, right? Everybody's kind of seen what's kind of taken place since that UCLA game. I still think, having that game without much competition might have helped as he had one of his best games. Of course, the 100 yards receiving, 100 yards rushing deal there. That's huge. If you kind of look at it too, it's kind of interesting. Nebraska's had 4 or 3 Doak Walker Award finalists, and that would be Amir Abdullah, Amon Green, and Calvin Jones. So they've given out the Doak Walker Award since 1990. So some really good names in there. I think he's probably, I would say, among the favorites to be the finalist, right? If we're talking about him in the Heisman race, but it has to be, he's going to have to finish out strong. And so this game against Penn State, once again, not the biggest weekend into college football. So this is kind of a primetime game on a 3-letter network. People are going to be tuning in. If he can have another big game again in a game where there are 3 really darn good running backs out there on the field, if he can outshine them, definitely will help him in his race to get these awards. And the other thing too is I was looking at some of these finalists. Just hopefully there's a lot of consideration for his receiving that he's been able to do, because some of these other running backs have put up some big yards rushing, but don't add a whole lot out of the backfield in the passing game.
Well, Bock, when you look at the nation's leading rusher, it's Ahmad Hardy.
Yeah.
Missouri. He's at 1346 right now. He was lower than Emmett, so he had to have a good game over the weekend. You look at Cam Cook, who's been the leader all through the year at Jacksonville State. He's probably not going to get a lot of recognition because of the conference he's in and where they're at in football. Keywan Lacey, he's 5 yards in front of Emmett. When you talk about that, Jeremiah Love has now passed Emmett. You're looking at 5 of the best backs in college football when you talk about, including Emmett Johnson, when we talk about his 1,131, Jeremiah Love 1,135, Keywan Lacey 1,136, and the top 2 guys are over 1,300. But This is going to be a tight race. I think it's going to go down to the end of the year when you talk about these guys. I mean, you can only cheer for Emmett as much as we can, but you have to give props to the other good backs that's in this class with him.
Yeah, I just think with Nebraska being where they've been the last couple of years, that's gonna hurt him a little bit with some of the big name guys like Love and Lacey, and because they're winning. Ole Miss is winning. Notre Dame is fresh off last year's playoff. So I think that's the only thing that's holding people back with Emmett. But again, if he has 2 great weeks this week and then next week, he may be in that top 5.
Yeah, if you look at it too, and I do think if you're kind of getting it down to kind of the 4, again, there's going to be 3 finalists here. I think that it's going to be a lot of those power conference guys. If you had Ashton Genty again going off, Cam Cook's doing really well. I mean, I don't want to downplay what he's doing at all, but it's not quite the Ashton Genty type of numbers there. If you're going to try to compare it to Power 4 competition. Now, Kawan Lacey, I think part of this too is I want Emmett to get in the end zone. He's got 11 touchdowns on the ground. Again, a threat of the backfield, has 3 touchdowns through the air as well. But Kawan Lacey has 19 touchdowns on the ground. Ooh. That's going to be something that people are going to look at.
And did you watch him last weekend?
Oh yeah, I remember that kid when he was being recruited here. I thought that he would, if he was here, he probably, it's hard to say who would be the starter. I mean, they're both good backs. You can only cheer for one guy, but we like to cheer for both of them in our case. I'm just a big fan of college football, and I like what I see out of everybody in this running back class right here.
Oh yeah, I mean Lacey he was an animal last weekend.
Yeah, and no more so than Ahmad Hardy though,
yes,
who ran for 300 yards, and he came up and took that leading whoever's leading the nation in rushing. He said that's going to be me now.
He said, "Let me get that."
Yeah, 6.8 yards per carry for Ahmad Hardy, and like you said, Kenny is the lack of maybe. I don't say lack of team success when Nebraska's 7-3, but just as comparison to Ole Miss and Notre Dame. So I think Lacey and Love are probably going to be in there. Ahmad Hardy, I think is going to be fighting it out with Emmett Johnson. So again, just need a strong end of the season for Emmett to be among the finalists. I know there's a lot of talk about Heisman race and all that. I think that's a little bit more far-fetched than the Stoke Walker Award, but he's got an opportunity to definitely claim it.
Yeah, good chance of being first team All Big Ten. Good chance of being first or second team All American. I mean, when you look at it, when you do pick the All American teams, you have to go with the top guys, and you can't hold that against the Jacksonville State guy when you talk about All American because he's done it all year. He's up there. He's one of the 5 top guys. One of those guys are going to get left out. So, we don't know that who's it going to be yet.
True.
So, it's still a lot more football to go with 2 games left, some with 3. We've seen Emmett on top because of some of the teams that had bye. And when you see what happened when the bye week comes, another guy pops up there and takes the lead. In this case, 4 guys popped in front of Emmett. So, this is football. This is not a bias against anything Emmett has done. Is these teams had buys also, and now it's time for it's coming down to the end of the end of the race. So I'm loving it.
It is also interesting to note because I think when a lot of people would think, what Emmett Johnson might have going for him is opportunity, right? He's been touching the ball 30 times a game, and he hasn't done that every game, right? So maybe it's a little bit different there. When you look at his 203 attempts, and that's going to be a little bit of a difference between Jeremiah Love. So Jeremiah Love's got 177 attempts. Again, still has a few more yards, a few more touchdowns. I think Jeremiah Love probably is the best running back in the nation.
Yes.
And we might see that come NFL draft time. So that's kind of interesting. But maybe more so than that was the fact that Kawan Lacey has 28 more attempts than Emmett Johnson does. Cam Cook has 24 more attempts. So there's some other teams riding the running backs pretty heavy. When you got them, might as well use them, right?
Yeah, use them.
And the part about what I like, Bock, is only one senior on this list. That's Robert Henry Jr. When you talk about everybody else, Jeremiah Love, Jr., Kewan Lacey, sophomore, Ahmad Hardy, sophomore, Cameron Dickey, sophomore, Cam Cook, Jr. These are young guys. These are not just the senior-led running backs we're talking about. These are guys who's probably going to come back next year, or probably 2 or 3 of these guys will leave, and that'll open the door up for some more younger guys next year.
Yeah, it is good to see again, and that's it is interesting because I think you're going to see it actually more often than not. As we know, running back is a position where you kind of want to save some of that tread on your tires for the NFL, your chance at the NFL. So I think more often than not, we're going to see that. It is awesome to see guys stick around and maybe either have their breakout season in their senior season, or, maybe the NIL is just there enough for them to continue doing that. But that's, of course, going to be a conversation we'll have down the line with Emmett. We've already kind of explored maybe over the bye week because, well, it's the bye week. Now it's good. It's good to get the focus back on the field. And again, this week, if you would have said who would have been at most maybe the chance to be in this list that's not at the beginning of the season, we said a couple of those guys over there at Penn State, Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen.
Yeah.
And Katron Allen had a good game last week.
And here's the thing about what we know, that they ran the ball 50 times last week and only passed 10. So Nebraska defense has to really button down this week. Button down. Don't lose control. This is going to be probably one of the most physical games that they're going to play. Probably one of the best offensive linemen that they're going to play this year, besides the Iowa team who comes up next week. So, you're going to face two really running teams in the next 2 weeks, Bock. And this is what I want this to lead to. What are Nebraska's chances of winning out? So we're going to save that. We're going to save it. Ooh. We're going to talk about that when we come back
Suspense.
here. Yeah, the suspense of it. It's the great part of it. 93.7 The Ticket. K-Dub Tuesday. Bock the Blackshirt. Keep rolling.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies with a light breeze. The high near 49. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies and calm winds. The low around 37. And tomorrow, partly sunny skies return with light winds. The high near 59. I'm meteorologist Kyle Thunder from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Acreage owner getting ready for winter? Make it easy with John Deere compact tractors and gators from Acres Equipment. Add snow blowers, front blades, cabs, heaters, and loaders to tackle every chore. Right now, in-stock units are priced to move with competitive financing to fit your budget. Get winter ready today at acres.com. Acres Equipment, your acreage handled. Financing subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial. Not all customers qualify. See dealer for details.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group. The best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at koppelcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the all-new Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide the smooth energy to get you through the day. Home of free samples and better than internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found at Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Do the holidays make you humbug? Then get happy again with Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, easy, and make great stocking stuffers, party favors, or last-minute gifts. Hey, they even put a smile on Scrooge's face. Stop by your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and pick up a pocket full of Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets today. They'll make your spirit bright. Top prize odds vary by game.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is K-Dub Tuesday in the building. Now, guys, I asked the question before we went to break. And the question was, what's the odds of Nebraska winning out, Bob? Kenny?
Buck.
Let's put some pressure on you guys. Let's put some pressure on you.
No. There's going to be a lot of pressure to win these next two games. The odds of them winning both of them are good, but they will have to play and execute like they did last week, like 2 weeks ago. If they come out flat over there, it's going to be a long night for them. You know, that again, there's going to be I think it's going to be a sellout. I think it's going to be a lot of white towels waving in that stadium. So if they come out flat and don't execute early, it's going to be a long night for them. Then you got to come back and face an Iowa team that's really, really good. I know a lot of people are talking about them on offense, but they've scoring points. But defensively, they're so sound. They're very sound. They don't make mistakes. They don't shoot themselves in the foot. So it's good, and it could be bad. So I think the odds of them winning both of them are good if they show up.
Now, percentage-wise, 50, below 50, 60. I'd say the odds of Nebraska winning out is probably 33% for me.
Yeah, I don't mind that. That would probably go somewhere close to that. I mean, Nebraska's not favored, as we know, against Penn State. They're likely not going to be favored against Iowa. You look at the early kind of numbers on that. The ESPN prediction or whatever, it's got Iowa about 60% on that game. And then you kind of go with the historical stats. Nebraska had a chance to win their first back-to-back road games since 2006, which is amazing that it's been that long. But they had that chance against Minnesota earlier this year, and it didn't happen. So Now you've got the opportunity here against Penn State. And so I think that's quite the obstacle. I almost feel better. I don't know. I mean, I almost feel better about Penn State in a victory here than I do against Iowa, simply because Iowa, because of how tough their defense is and their running game can get going too. Of course, Penn State's kind of the same way. So you kind of got similar opponents here, but it would just be a long time. And if you're talking about winning out, then the other thing is, then they'd be 9-3 for the first time when we know that's been a while. So I don't think it's great, but I think they can be competitive in these games. Then the other thing is, I think we're kind of past the whole one-score game. Nebraska's not going to win those anymore. Like Nebraska has throughout this season been able to win a lot of those close games, and I expect some close games here. So I probably would go somewhere like you said, maybe 30%, something like that. But all you can ask for is an opportunity, and again, they're not going to be heavy underdogs in these games, or at least they shouldn't be, and so the chance is there. But I wouldn't, as fans, we want to win every week, right? Obviously, but I wouldn't want to set myself up for disappointment and think that that's likely going to happen. I think what's most likely is you split these games.
Yep, I would agree with that. I think you have a better chance with winning the one at home than you have over there. Again, with it being a night game later in the evening. But again, both of them is going to be hard-fought games. You're going to have to come to play. Like your boy Kirby said, physical.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the most physical team? The most physical team is going to win that game. So,
yeah, I think it depends what Penn State team you get. If you have that Penn State team that played Indiana like that, then it's going to be a good game. If you have that Penn State team that lost to UCLA, then it'll go our way. But you never know what you're going to get up there. And it's these guys' senior walk, so they'll be amped for it. I think the crowd will be amped for it, and really they're going with a whiteout. You're going to see it sprinkled with a little bit of red in it. I think when Nebraska travels, tickets are fairly low right now, so it depends about how they travel. I mean, I know it's once you get to a regular airport, you have an hour and a half drive to Penn State Stadium, so Beaver Stadium when we talk about it. So, it depends how much traveling they want to do, how much we can get our guys comfortable. Are our guys ready to play in front of 100,000+ guys? You know what I'm saying? Are they ready for that 105,000 crowd? So I'm looking forward to watching it Saturday.
Well, and of course, there's all types of questions. Obviously, TJ Lateef, is he closer to the UCLA performance than the USC one? I mean, I think so. You got the opportunity to kind of take reps and get ready for that game. But at the same time, is every game going to play out so that you don't have to only throw the ball 15 times per game? Probably not. They're probably going to have to ask more from his arm. Not that he didn't, on the opening drive and closing drive show that. But then the other thing, again, too, is Penn State and Iowa's defense are significantly better, at least in the rankings, to what UCLA brings to the table. And then the other thing is maybe why there's more doubt as to why they might not win these final two games. This is, kind of to what Kenny was saying. This is physical season. This is the time where it matters more than not. This isn't September football. This is November. It's going to be cold. Everybody's beat up. And that's where you kind of get to the one kind of, it's what's been described maybe, I think Coach Butler said, I can't remember if he said elephant in the room, but something in that same category is Nebraska's rush defense. These are two teams that, if given the opportunity, Nebraska's rush defense as a whole hasn't been terrible, but it's been those big breakout long runs. I think they've gotten a little bit better in the last couple of games, but if that rears its ugly head again, these are two teams that will definitely take advantage of that and make it difficult for Nebraska to come out of either game with a win.
We'll straight maul you.
Yeah.
Straight maul you. So, yeah, it's going to be a test. It's going to be a huge test for the next 2 weeks to see who's going to be the most physical team and then who's going to execute the best, who's not going to make any mistakes, who's going to continue to build towards something big, or are they going to fall off?
I think it depends. I mean, I know our offense has been doing the job. I think this really comes down to the defense. How better have y'all gotten at stopping the run? Because you're facing two running teams. I mean, might not even get 100 yards passes. So the same with Penn State. So just throw the rankings out for passing and let's concentrate really against the rush, because that's the main thing that's been killing us as a team when we talk about a defensive standpoint and not break containment because, these are two good running backs that they have can really take it to the house at any moment. So, play good defense, keep containment, be physical as you could be because we've been out physical most of the time on the defensive front seven when we talk about playing teams like these two.
Yeah, you got to be physical at the point of attack, and you got to meet force with force, and stay gap sound. Don't try to be a hero. Get out of your gap. Put your head in another gap you ain't supposed to be in. Then you're gonna get yourself in trouble.
Well, it's interesting, too, because I think there is going to be a lot of attention, and as well there should, and we're right in emphasizing the run game there. Katron Allen likely to go over 1,000 yards. He's at 917. I shouldn't say likely. Maybe we'll see this year. Maybe Nebraska
Maybe we can hold him from there.
Can shut him down. Maybe Nicholas Singleton is the one they roll with. But in any case, I did want to also say, though their passing game, it hasn't been great, and you look through the numbers, it definitely is not where they expected to be with Drew Aller. Remember, this is a team last year that basically only had Tyler Warren. They didn't have any wide receivers that could get open. And so when you look at this year, their top two receivers have, Trevor Pena has 369 yards. Devontae Ross has 360. So you might think, okay, not the biggest weapons on the outside, but I'd say hold off on that. These guys are pretty darn good. Trevor Pena was nearly 1,000-yard receiver last year at Syracuse. Devontae Ross was a 1,000-yard receiver last year at Troy, has 5 touchdowns this year. So, while it is the main focus is going to be the running game, don't confuse their maybe less than stellar numbers for the fact that, to make you think that they can't have a big play or a big game, because they do have some weapons on the outside as well. They just haven't been able to show it off this year. And I'm sure they're still trying to figure out that recipe to get some of those guys going as well.
All right, guys, let's jump to another subject. James Franklin, named Virginia Tech head coach. Man, he left $40 million on the table.
No, he ain't leaving.
He didn't leave it.
He didn't leave it. He finna get it from them.
Out of the $49 million that they owed him, he's only going to walk away with $9 million.
Well, from Penn State.
From Penn State.
From Penn State. Yeah. But, they got off the hook. More like the Matt Rule situation with the Panthers when they owed it all that money. I think Nebraska picked up half of it or most of it. But, I'm just saying, I probably would have set out for that buyout, Bock. That $49 million. I don't know about that, Bock. If somebody offered me $49 million not to get on the radio again,
we won't see you.
I'll be on Facebook, y'all.
You won't even be on Facebook. You'll be on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You won't even be on Facebook.
On a 100-inch TV.
No, bruh. No, I mean, good for him. Congratulations, Coach. I think that's a guy that loves the game. He has a passion for it, and good thing that Penn State's now off the hook for some of that money, and Virginia Tech has to eat it up, and hopefully he goes over there and do some of the things that he done at Penn State, if not better. Like he said on ESPN on game day, he was almost close enough to win one at Penn State. Now he's just going to do it his next stop, so we'll see. That's what he said.
He did say that.
That's what he said.
I appreciate him saying that.
That's what he said.
This is a good deal for Penn State. You have to look at it that way, as opposed to what we might see at LSU, where Coach Brian Kelly is fighting for every bit of that $53 million. And I don't know if he's going to get another job right away. So LSU might be on the hook for all that money. Penn State, I don't know if this was part of the thinking all along, kind of knowing James Franklin is competitive, was going to be one of the top targets going out there, was, hey, maybe we could find an avenue to where we're not going to have to pay all of that $49 million. And so, while $9 million still is a lot, but even, in college football terms, it's much less obviously than what they were going to be on the hook for. The next thing that's kind of interesting thing about this is if you can get Virginia Tech going, right? I mean, Virginia Tech has really struggled since Frank Beamer left. They had double-digit win seasons from 2004 to 2011. You go back further than that, I think we all remember Michael Vick playing in the national championship game, and just was a special program for the longest time. Enter Sandman, all that sort of stuff. It's kind of been put on the back burner these last couple of guys out there. Justin Fuente didn't get it going. Brent Pry really couldn't get it going. And so they're kind of in a down spot. But Franklin, maybe, as we know, in modern day, you can rebuild a little bit quicker. So out of that portal, might be able to do something. And now the question is going to become, and we'll see, is Franklin going to outdo what Penn State can do? Because Penn State is losing a lot this year. I don't know if they're going to hire a better guy out on the market. That was the question all along. than James Franklin. Obviously, they feel like it's not all about that. It's about what he's doing there. Feel like he's hit a ceiling, all of that. But James Franklin, to me, is still a top 15 coach in the nation. I was somewhat surprised that, he didn't come up a little bit hurt, in maybe the Florida, LSU, other discussion, the top jobs. So I think Virginia Tech really got a good deal here. And I believe James Franklin will have him, playoff eligible or close to it in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, because if you look at some of those kids that he had committed at Penn State, they're already decommitting. So you know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, it's not really about what school you go to. They decommit because of the coach. And when you look at that, he's going to be able to get some of those commits.
That's what I'm saying.
Over to Virginia Tech, Bob.
Yep.
So that's going to be good for him because you don't decommit because of the school. You decommit because of the coach. And with him going another direction, I think it gives these kids a chance to open up their recruiting. Some of them can see what Virginia Tech has to offer to them. I know they dedicated $229 million over the next 5 years to their recruiting cause, and that should help him out significantly enough, even with the revenue share that we have in college football now also.
Well, and then the other part of it, obviously, is walking to an ACC that isn't doing all that well as far as the traditional powers. Florida State, Clemson, they're down. Obviously, Miami is doing well, but maybe not dominating, or I'd expect them to continue to put out money and be one of the top programs. But the opportunity is there for Virginia Tech to rise in the next couple of seasons, obviously compared to what was his Achilles heel in the Big Ten, right? Was losing those top 10 games. Well, I mean, just right now, there's no top 10 ACC teams. So that might be, something that also will play in his favor. At some point, you'd like to take that next step. But again, for Virginia Tech, hate to kind of compare it to Nebraska, but I don't think their expectations are where they once were, if you want to put it that way, as in that their belief, or maybe they've been humbled a little bit is probably a better way to put it. And so I think, constantly, making a playoff 1 out of every 3 years, being close to in the ACC race in November, that sort of stuff. I think that's very doable for James Franklin.
Yeah, but I'm going to push back on you a little bit, Bock, on the expectation things about Nebraska. The expectations has never been, hopefully will never be less than 9-10, competing for a Big Ten championship, playing in the playoffs and winning the championship. We don't want to get into that settling for mediocrity and now we're bowl eligible. Everybody's happy we get to go to a bowl game. We don't want to fall into that realm, and we want to continue to be a relevant university football program. And so I'm going to push back a little on you on that one, Bock, because I don't want to hear about that. This is Nebraska. This isn't Virginia Tech where they can, you know what I mean, Bock? No hard feelings, Bock, but
yeah,
we have a standard here. And you know that the standard is winning. The people of this state, the fans around the country, they know what Nebraska what they want Nebraska to be. So, and that's a winning program every year in and year out, so they can travel to these warm states and go to bowl games or play for the national championship.
Well, I'm just, the point that I would just make is that Nebraska has fired 2 9-win coaches, right?
Yeah.
And you haven't been able to get even back to either of their success level.
I agree.
So I just don't know the next, and hopefully, I mean, maybe the football gods like to play jokes on Nebraska. Maybe hopefully you never get stuck on that 9-win mark again and kind of stuck in that stratosphere. But if they do, I wonder if it'll be handled a little bit differently from Nebraska this time around.
I hope so. Because you don't want to keep being on this roller coaster. This roller coaster makes me sick.
A chance at 9 wins, as we were saying earlier, though, for Nebraska this year. In fact, they still could win 10. They could go 10-3, and maybe that's a hope in the sky and all that. But they, again, like I said before, all you can ask for is the opportunity. They have that chance, and that would be the best record since Frank Solich left the building.
Yes, sir.
All right. I got the recruiting coordinator guy in here. We're going to talk recruiting next. What in the world is going on with Nebraska in recruiting? Up next.
We're going to touch on that.
93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt. K-Dub Tuesday is in effect.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Need an adventure? How about the bright lights of Vegas? The magic of Orlando? Or the sunshine of Orange County? Now you can reach them all with new flights from LNK on Breeze Airways. Stretch out, relax, and enjoy the flight. Your vacation starts the moment you board at LNK. Book today at LincolnAirport.com. LNK. Make flying easy.
Do the holidays make you humbug? Then get happy again with Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, easy, and make great stocking stuffers, party favors, or last-minute gifts. Hey, they even put a smile on Scrooge's face. Stop by your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and pick up a pocket full of Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets today. They'll make your spirit bright. Top prize odds vary by game.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the number one fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at CoppellCars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is K-Dub Tuesday in effect here. 5284 says, I feel like Nebraska is slowly crawling back to relevance, but the standard was dropped by multiple coaches and a certain DA I refuse to name. Once we are back at the top, we need to maintain and sustain. Go Big Red.
I don't think the standard was dropped. I just think just from afar and then being a part of the staff, it was being ran wrong from the top down. You know what I mean? So that wasn't a standard. I think it was just some selfishness from the top down and people not being on the same page. Because in order for Nebraska to be the Nebraska that everybody knows that we were in the past, it has to be everybody from the top down working towards one common goal. That's making sure those kids are graduated, getting a good education, and win football games. When that changed, it all changed. So
my part is when you talk about being relevant in college football, or are you talking about the 90s or the both relevance when you talk about Nebraska football? Because that's two different parts of football when we talk about we're back. Are we back because we're 9-3, or are we back because we win a championship? That's my part of being relevant in college football.
Well, yeah, and I think ideally you'd like to be in the championship, but as that text was kind of saying, is you're likely going to have to build your way up there. There are teams, we see Indiana kind of just rise from the ashes, but for the most part, for sustainable builds, you got to take those steps forward, and that's why I think these 2 weeks are huge. I mean, not only does it tell you what the season ends with, and we all can kind of enjoy what it can be, but it changes what we expect out of next year. It changes what we expect out of 2 years from now. So if it's going to be an 8-win season, again, that's fine. That's progress. It's all that sort of stuff. But compare that to 9, and then you want to take the step up from 9 next year, then you're kind of talking about being a top 20 team, right? And so I think that's got to be the goal eventually, is those championships, but you got to kind of step your way into that conversation. Again, Nebraska, you lost 29 straight games to top 25 opponents. You got a little bit of work to do before you can start saying we're going to beat the best of the best.
And you haven't won back-to-back road games. So
right.
That's part of being relevant. When you can win back-to-back road games, you can beat a top 10 opponent. And again, like we talked about with Emmett Johnson, that's some of the reason why he is not in the upper echelon of the running backs, because of where Nebraska has been in the past. If Emmett had this year, half the year that he's having this year, last year, and then continued on this year, now he may be in the top 3 or 4 backs. You know what I'm saying? In the mention of that. He's not just going to be mentioned in the dog walk. He's going to be a top candidate for it. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by that. When you're saying relevant, what do you mean?
I mean, with the schedule, I can't say relevant. I got to say that we've been lucky because of an easy schedule that we drawn this year. And if you go to next year's schedule, you're looking at probably being 5-5 after the first 10 games, Bock, if you look at who we're playing next year. I mean, you have Indiana, the 4th game of the season. I mean, you're going to go play 3 cakewalk games again, and then you're going to try to go out there and play an Indiana team who might be better than they was. They might be the Indiana of Indiana again for 3 years in a row when I say that. But what I'm talking about is, are we comfortable with just winning eight games? I mean, are we comfortable trying to get over that hump? Are we building a national title program, or are we building a subpar program just fit for that 9-3 role? I mean, we have to get over this hump. And when I talk about that, Bock, we have to beat the teams we should beat. We shouldn't have to struggle with the Northwestern. We shouldn't have to struggle with the Minnesotas. We shouldn't have to struggle with the Marylands. These are the teams we should out physically beat them good, and then just throw your backups in. I haven't seen a complete game, like, not going to say old Huskers, but in a Nebraska football.
Just a complete game in general. The closest thing to me, and I heard Bock and Adam talking about it. I guess Dano spoke about it on his press conference. UCLA's game to me was a complete game because of execution, the way it was called, the way they dictated to UCLA. They weren't the hitties, they were the hitters.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. So that game could have been the stepping stone to, I don't know if the bye week will hurt you or help you, because to me, late in the season, the way he played, I would want him to play right again, not take a week off. But it also gives you time to heal a little bit as a team. It gives him time to get more grasp of the offense, get more reps in it. Because again, we talked about reps. So we'll see. We'll see this weekend. Again, like you said, I want us to be relevant. I don't think relevant is 9 wins. I think 9 wins is okay to start out with. But if you want to be relevant, like Bock said, you want to be playing for the Big Ten championship, and then you want to be playing ultimately in the playoffs. That's
I
when
take
you're
that
relevant.
10-2 Soldiers team. I take a 10-2 team.
I would.
Byron the Hawk Farmer says, you don't know what those teams will look like next year or what we would bring in. We didn't know what Indiana was going to look like this year. And guess what? They're 11-0. We didn't know. We don't know what we're going to bring in, but we got to bring in something better than what we brought in this year, especially on the D-line. If we want to be relevant, we got to get some real head knockers on that offensive line. That defensive line. Both lines. I mean, you got to get better at linebacker. I don't think we upgraded at linebacker that much. I think they're a little better than last year. Vincent Shavers is having a down year to me because of the injuries. He needs to be healthy. He needs to be and these guys need to be at one position, not playing both linebackers. Just too many different playing styles that you have to play at 2 different linebackers. I mean, this team is okay for what we have right now, but we have to capitalize on that each year when we talk about getting better. Your class got to be better than that class. This class got to be better than that class. That class got to be better than that class, Bock, is what I'm saying. Recruiting has to get better. Transfer portal definitely has to get better in what we're picking. Rue did talk about the other day, say, we're to the point now we can get anybody. I don't believe that part of it when you talk about it, because, other
schools have money.
Other schools have money too. Just don't think and other schools are winning.
Then they're winning.
And that's one of the main things that when we ask these kids, what are your goals for college? What do you like about this college? Do you like the money part of it, or do you like the football part of it?
So as a recruiter, I'm telling you right now, the first question most of these kids ask is, what are you giving me NIL-wise?
Yeah.
They're not worried about who their coach is, who the head coach is, or this university or any university in that point. How much NIL are you giving me? So that's what it's all coming down to. It's sad to say, but again, when I came out, when it was a long time ago, 35 years ago, that's a long time. It wasn't about my position coach. It wasn't about, this and that. It was about what kind of education was I going to get? And then am I going to win? Or are we going to win? I came here to win championships, win Big 8 championships, then ultimately play for the national championship, and then get an education.
Yeah.
So those days, there's slim and far few of those kids out there now, because most of the kids now are getting money, and they're getting money in high school. So that's the problem with college football. You have to deal with it. Again, in the portal, you cannot miss in the portal these days. You can't, because if you do, it's going to set you back.
Yeah, especially with one portal window now.
Yep.
So once you've stuck with that guy, and the bad part is that this is a young team. This is a very, 90? How many guys are younger than what, Bob?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of the younger teams in the Big Ten, and that's why they're going to take a small recruiting class, especially high school.
But then when you go to the transfer portal, you're going to up the ante. I mean, you're gonna get. We're probably going to get 10 guys out transfer portal, Bob. Probably more than that.
And as far as recruiting goes, when you look at your roster, the roster that Nebraska has now, when you out recruiting, ultimately you want to recruit better than what you have on your roster. That's going to create competition.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't recruit better than what you have on your roster, you're setting yourself back. If you're recruiting guys that are equal to the guys you have on your roster, now you're talking about development. So ultimately, when you're looking at a kid, high school, junior college, transfer portal, he has to be better than what you have on your roster.
Yeah, then Eric says, you and Kenny are the O's. Now, hey, we may be old, but we still know football. It doesn't matter how old you are when you know football. I know talent. I know how to read talent. I know what talent looks like. I know what a guy needs to do on a defense of standpoint. I know what a guy needs to block. So it's not that we're old, it's that we see. We can see a lot of things that you won't see on a defensive play that you think may be good, but it's bad to us. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock The Blackshirt. K-Dub Tuesday. Be right back.
No Shave November is raising awareness of men's health and prostate cancer. Limitless Male wants you to know low T is real. Low energy, brain fog, belly fat, low libido. Your T levels matter. They affect how you function. If you have symptoms, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel good, you'll wonder why you waited so long for a free consult at Limitless Male.
Do the holidays make you humbug? Then get happy again with Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, easy, and make great stocking stuffers, party favors, or last-minute gifts. Hey, they even put a smile on Scrooge's face. Stop by your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and pick up a pocket full of Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets today. They'll make your spirit bright. Top prize odds vary by game.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, a slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, we'll see mainly cloudy skies with a light breeze. The high near 49. Tonight, mainly cloudy skies and calm winds. Low around 37. And tomorrow, partly sunny skies return with light winds. The high near 59. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com. Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is
Is your vehicle ready for the change in seasons? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Acreage owner getting ready for winter? Make it easy with John Deere compact tractors and gators from Acres Equipment. Add snow blowers, front blades, cabs, heaters, and loaders to tackle every chore. Right now, in-stock units are priced to move with competitive financing to fit your budget. Get winter ready today at acres.com. Acres Equipment, your acreage handled. Financing subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial. Not all customers qualify. See dealer for details.
The 2026 Love Nebraska schedule is here. Season 2 features 10 opportunities to catch your home team in Nebraska, with 9 at Baxter Arena and 1 at the Heartland Events Center in Grand Island. More matches means more chances to see your favorite pro volleyball athletes, like Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson. Check out the full schedule by visiting lovbneb.com/schedule.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg-curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Like the headphones on game. There you go. The other way.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It is K-Dub Wednesday, Tuesday. In effect, I'm losing my days. I'm getting older.
You're getting older. CTE.
Eric says, LOL, Farley, it wasn't a jab at you. Kenny had just said that it's been 35 since enrolled at Nebraska.
It's been 35 years.
Man, you make it look old, man. Now that's
I make
your
it look
fault.
old.
Yeah, you make it sound old.
I still look young.
Yeah, you dress like young with them shorts on. All right, y'all, we have a special guest in the house. Bock, I'm going to give you the invite to name our guest in here today, sir.
Absolutely. Many Husker fans will know him. And he's, as I was talking with him, he's been around Nebraska and in Nebraska circles for a long time. It's Jeff Jamrog, 3 decades of college coaching, 10th season now at Midland, where they just came off their 10th winning season for the state of Nebraska, by the way. Midland, the only team with 10 winning seasons in a row. Wayne State has 7, Chadron State has 5, but nobody else has 10. Consecutive winning season in the state of Nebraska in the last 10 years. Again, 10 for Midland. Wayne State comes in second there with 5th. So a heck of a coach in studio here with us. 3 stints at Nebraska, coached defensive line and special teams. Also a DFO under Bo Pelini, defensive coordinator at New Mexico State and Western Illinois. Of course, played some Husker football himself. Jeff Jamrog. Jeff, welcome to the program. Welcome to The Ticket.
Yeah, it's great to be on The Ticket. Always dreamed of being on here, and here I am. So awesome.
That's the first thing he asked me was, is that the one that Bushman's on? I go, yeah. He goes, okay, I'll be there.
Yeah, my man Bush, man. I love that guy.
Oh, yeah. Bush is a great asset to The Ticket, man. He's a very funny guy when you talk to him. I asked him a question last week. I said, Coach, if Ed Orion called you talking about pack it up, let's go. I asked Bill, would he go? And I think Bill is ready to coach again. So that's one of the things about coaches like Kenny. You can't take the coach out of them, but sometimes you have to take a break from doing what you love the most to get your thoughts back and get yourself mentally prepared when I say coaching, because You know, coaches go through a lot. I took a lot of coaches through hell, and that's going back through junior college, and that's going back through my Canadian days too. So, and Coach Bo here, and Coach Osborne. So, you know, I appreciate everything coaches do for us as kids, you know, especially when we grew up, because you bonded with your coach more than anything, because we didn't have that chance to play for money. We just played for the love of football when we talk about playing a sport of football.
Absolutely. It's, you know, I didn't ever knew I was going to go into coaching. I was coached by a Hall of Fame high school coach, Jim Kane. He was phenomenal. He coached football, basketball, track for 30-some years at Mount Michael. We won state my senior year, football, basketball. He coached both those sports and had a dream of playing at Nebraska, and then played for a legendary coach in Tom Osborne, was a GA for Tom Osborne for 2 years. And I didn't know for sure I was going to coach, and I got a postgraduate scholarship from the NCAA. My wife thought I was going to Wall Street. I was a business major. Okay. My dad was in the savings and loan business. So yeah, she thought Wall Street sounded good. And guess what? 2 years later, I'm taking a job at University of South Dakota on an 11-month contract. I'll say that again, 11-month. We didn't get paid. We didn't get paid the 12th. She goes, "What are we going to do for the 12th?" I'm like, "That's a good question, honey." But really, it's been a great journey. You know, the people that have it the toughest, in my opinion, are the wives and children and all those moves that you have over the years. You know, we just think, you know, next stop. But man, my wife's a saint, Connie. I mean, all those years of those different stops of putting them in a new school, you know, registration for basketball, for football, for my daughter, volleyball. It's been a challenge, but wouldn't trade it for anything. And I'll tell you what, it made my kids tough-minded and persevere, and all the things that coaching does for you. You know, they've been able to be a big part of it.
I got a question for you, Fresh.
Yes.
You've been at all these different places. Who do you think you've gained the most from, and who do you think in coaching you've gained the most from? Who do you pattern yourself after?
Oh boy. Learn the most from.
I'm putting them on the spot.
Yeah. And then learn the most from. That was number one. And number two,
who do you pattern your coaching philosophy and style after?
Yeah, that's, you know what? I can't really pinpoint one person. I know that's a cop-out answer, right? But every one of those stops, from the first one, obviously legendary Tom Osborne. Then I got into coaching up at South Dakota and worked for two guys. After 2 years, I learned pretty well in college football. It could end quickly. Okay. We got fired. Midway through the season, the AD comes in and goes, "Hey guys, just want you to know I'm going to sink or swim with John Fritz." Well, 4 weeks later, guess what? We got fired. New head coach comes in. Denny Crehan goes, "J-Rob, I'm going to watch you work recruiting for a month here, and I'll let you know if you're going to have a job or not." He liked what I did, and guess what? He goes, "You can be academic coordinator, you can be special teams coordinator." I took special teams. I'm glad I did. But then I worked for Pat Burns, worked for Tony Samuel, worked for Bo Pelini. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anyone. They're short stint at Western Illinois, but really all those. I mean, my guys, you know, Tony Samuel. I love Tony. I played for Tony, and then was a defense coordinator down in Mexico State with Tony. Learned a lot from him, all those other coaches, and obviously Tom Osborne. So pattern them. You kind of take all the things that you really loved and believed in, and the philosophy of what they did, and then made it your own. Joe Mowgli has been a big mentor to me. Joe, my first 2 years with Bo Pelini. No, I'm sorry, it was the second and third year. Was a basically volunteer, and so I learned a lot from Joe. We went on walks every day during the season and just talked, about the business world, the coaching world, and he wanted to get back in it. And he had a great career down at Coastal Carolina, still keeping contact with Joe. But really, all those guys, Kenny, have really made me who I am today.
Well, it's interesting too. I did want to get your kind of thoughts on, and of course, the changes that have happened over 10 years coaching at Midland, specifically. What's happened in the last couple of years with walk-ons, and might that help out Midland more, in the future? I want to get your thoughts on that, but also you being a former walk-on, being in charge of the walk-on program before, I'm sure there's a little bit of mixed feelings there.
Yeah, no doubt. I interviewed after Bo Pelini got fired up at Michigan with Jim Harbaugh, and first question I think Jim Harbaugh said, he goes, "What's your baby?" I'm like, "Ooh, that's great." I mean, no one ever asked me that question right off the bat. And I go, "My baby was recruiting walk-ons at University of Nebraska. I had a chip on my shoulder. I walked on at Nebraska. It worked out for me. And when I was at Nebraska with Coach Pelini, the first time you know, he says, man, this program walk-ons, he didn't really, I think, know how valuable it was that year. Okay. There's some guys maybe shouldn't have been playing at Nebraska, and, you know, he came from the NFL, smaller roster, so he didn't really notice it. Then when he came back in December 2007, and then he started seeing some of these walk-ons beat out guys that we fly all over the country for. So I'll never forget going to a Mount Michael Gretna game, coming back and saying, hey, there's a really good-looking fullback, and he wasn't even really on the radar. And his name was Andy Janovich. Everyone knows that name.
Yep.
And then Jake Long is playing at Elkhorn. We thought maybe he had a little better high school career than Spencer, but, you know, package deal twins, we got to take them both. Then we're hurting for offensive linemen. Spencer was playing scout team defensive line. We moved Spencer over to O-line. And then, what does he play? 5-6 years in NFL. It was all Big Ten. So I loved, of all the things I've done in my career from a standpoint of pride and passion for, it would be when I was in charge of the walk-on program at Nebraska and seeing those guys develop. I mean, there's so many. You go Brandon Riley. I mean, that one class, I'm trying to think of what year it was. There was like 8 guys they put on scholarship. Sam Foltz still in contact with his dad. I mean, I no doubt he would have still be playing in the NFL, in my opinion. But anyhow, love the walk-ons. I was one, and it was just, it's easy to tell your story when and dreams, and then tell guys, hey, you could have this opportunity. I'll never forget Coach Osborne always said this one thing: if you can live the rest of your life turning down the opportunity to play at University of Nebraska, if you're okay with that, then go take a scholarship somewhere else. If it's going to bother you the rest of your life, like always in the back of your mind, what could have been, the what ifs in life, then you know you're okay with it, go somewhere else.
So I'm gonna piggyback what Jeff said. When I was fortunate enough to get that role as a walk-on liaison, that was my baby. And just listen to Jeff, the passion he talked about it. Me being a scholarship kid, I learned how to be a Nebraska football player from 2 walk-ons. And I tell the story all the time. I'm athletic. I'm more athletic than they were. I could run faster. I can jump higher. But I wasn't doing it the right way, the Nebraska way. So Brad Duvall, kudos to you. He taught me how to be a Nebraska football player as a walk-on. I mean, he worked his butt off every day. He came to practice every day. He didn't pout. He didn't do anything. He came to work every day. So I prided myself in the passion that I gave to that part of the job was to the walk-on kids, making sure we got the best kids that we could to walk on, because I knew in 2 or 3 years they would contribute to the team at some point. So, I mean, just to listen to you talk about it, the passion you had for it, I had the same passion, because I knew the foundation of that university, of the University of Nebraska, has always been the walk-on program. It's sad to see it's going to go away, but again, guys like yourself at Midland, Nebraska Wesleyan, the South Dakotas, the North Dakotas are coming in now offering these kids scholarships. So it's going to be tough to see because of the slimming down of the roster. But it was good to hear you say that.
Yeah, it's sad to see that a lot of young men dream of playing in Memorial Stadium, won't have that opportunity anymore. And you hope schools like ourselves and UNK and Wayne and all the rest of the schools, South Dakota State's coming down and getting really good players that would have played at Nebraska.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. Does any of the other changes of college football, certainly like an NIL, does that impact anything at where you're at?
Well, I'm waiting for the ticket to give us a donation. I got to hit up Bushman.
You got it.
I know he's got some money stashed away. He's pretty tight.
That gated community
he gives me a hard time.
Got it.
Oh yeah, but we're working on some things, even at our level. But Coach Osborne a couple of years ago, sent me a text just saying how it's got to be refreshing just to coach at a place that guys are playing for the love of the game. And there's something to be said about that. I'll never forget when Dave Gillespie hired me 10 years ago. I can't believe it's been 10 years already. Dave's a great guy. He was our athletic director my first 5 years. And he goes, Jeff, let me tell you something. You come into Midland, he goes, it'll be the hardest job you will ever have. But he goes, it'll also be the most rewarding job you've ever have. And I truly believe what he said is come to fruition. It's a challenge. Historically, Midland's been a tough place to win. We've done it. We've done it the right way. And it's rewarding. Whether you play Northwestern or you play Hastings, I still get
that knot in your stomach, whether you're playing Penn State, it doesn't matter. Football is football. I have a lot of respect for the guys at our level, that a lot of them, they are working in the summertime 40 plus hours a week and getting up at 6 in the morning to make a workout, where a lot of these guys, they don't have a job. I mean, these guys are working 40, 50, 60 hours in the summertime, second semester, trying to pick some hours up at Walmart or Raising Cane's or wherever, just so they can make rent. And that's a beautiful part about what we have going at Midland, is just, I think, guys, again, playing for the passion of the game.
Could you also briefly kind of run us down what not just the, you can't do it all, too quickly, but, what your tenure at Midland has been about? I read off the statistics earlier, a winning season in every season. So 10 straight seasons. But then also just kind of how this past year went for you guys.
Yeah, it's a good question. When I took over at Midland 10 years ago, it would have been the worst program in the state from a wins and loss, probably culture too. A lot of issues. Won't go into all of them, but let's just say there were there's a reason why teams don't win. Okay. They won one game the year before I got there, 2 before that, 4 before that. So in 3 previous seasons, they won 7. We've been 6-5 or better every year. A couple of years ago, went 8-3, just missed the national playoffs. That's our next step. We've been close. This season was probably the most challenging in my 37 years. I'm sharing something now with you that not too many people know, but on September 2nd, I had a detached retina surgery, a major surgery. Had some dizziness in fall camp. Had a game up at University of Mary, an 8.5-hour bus ride. That was beautiful. When I got back on Friday, we put on a Thursday night, went into the doctor. Make a long story short, the following Tuesday, had that surgery. I go, what does this mean for coaching? They said, well, you got to tell your other coaches to do the yelling. You can't be on the Hastings sideline on Saturday. You got to be up in the box. But if things go well, the rest of the season, you can be in the box. They put a gas bubble in my eye. I won't go into all the details of detached retina surgery and what a gas bubble is. A lot of listeners, if they're out there, probably know that their grandparent or someone had that, what that's like. Basically, it took 8 weeks to finally go away. It went away a couple weeks ago, finally. So whatever that's been, 10, 11 weeks ago, they had that surgery. But it was an up and down season. We had 4 of our losses were 1, 2, 4, and 6 points. 1 to Dover, double overtime to Northwestern. Dort made the national playoffs. We lost at their place 17-14 with 5 turnovers. I think that day was a rough one. The game that some people around here, if you followed the story, our big win this year from a national standpoint, we made national news. It was ESPN number 9. We beat Concordia. You guys ready for this? At halftime, it was the worst half we played in probably my 10 years there. We're down 31-7. I was getting ready to call up Costco, see what kind of openings maybe they had there. And we're down 31-7. They take the opening kickoff and go down and score. It's 38-7. Most people, if they on ESPN ticker would have said the odds of winning were probably 99.9, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Okay, with about 9 minutes to go in the third quarter. If I told you the final score, that's the way you always have a belief. I think it shows something about our culture. Our kids didn't blink. They didn't give up. They kept fighting. We finally scored. We scored 38 unanswered points to actually take the lead. Okay. 52-45 and no, 45-38. And then it ends up, they tie it, goes to double overtime. We stop them in double over. We scored the second overtime to take a 60-52 lead.
Jeez.
And we end up winning 60-52 in double overtime. Again, that score with 9 minutes, wherever it was, to go in the third quarter, we're down 38-7. And so it made a lot of national, some headlines of just how difficult that comeback would be. But it says a lot. We had a quarterback that I think he equaled the previous game's touchdowns. Brody Johnson, kid out of North Bend. Ken, you know about him.
Yes, I do.
He transferred from a Division II school in Oklahoma, started his career at Peru 1 year, didn't play, and then transferred down to Oklahoma, Division II school. And Brody ended up throwing 7 touchdowns in the second half. And,
all right, Coach, when we talk about, I had Mickey Joseph on a couple of times, and he talked about how you groom a player. They be with you for a year or so. Then the next thing you know, they have a great year. and a D1 school will come and grab them. Mickey said that he would rather be compensated for that rather than, just to lose the player. How do you feel about that when the transfer portal is evolved around everybody in college football?
Right. Now, does Mickey want to be compensated or the school compensated?
The school. I guess the school.
I'm just joking there. But there is something to that. It'd be interesting if you say, you know what, we put a lot of time and effort into them. We, nutrition, supplements, everything, the time, effort. It would be interesting if someone said, you know what, you're going to come poach our kid. There's going to be a price tag for it. It's an interesting statement that he said that a lot of coaches, that's the tough part about it. I was worried about a couple of our kids because we have some kids I think can play at another level. That's what I mean. I'll never forget Tom Osborne in the first staff meeting I was ever at. He goes, guys, every year if we can get a couple first round draft choice, okay, and then some guys, that are going to be drafted, and then you know what, we're going to make some mistakes, and our mistakes are going to be made up by the walk-ons. These are the guys that are going to make up for flying all over the country getting these guys. We used to do it with Coach Playing. They want a private jet to go see this kid throw at this school, and they want a private jet to go fly and see this kid. And then guess what?
He goes somewhere.
Brandon Riley's playing.
Yep. Yeah.
Spencer Long's playing. I'll never forget, again, Andy Janovich beating out guys that we fly around the country. And you develop these guys. It's about developmental. That's the sad part about what's going on right now with these rosters is the development of the high school kids. There's even a lot of junior college kids that would be taken by a lot of these teams right now that they're not being recruited because it's all this transfer portal and taking guys from the transfer portal. And so the developmental part, you wish the school would be compensated. It says a lot about some of these schools that are winning and developing kids and, in my opinion, doing it the right way.
Yep. All right, we're going to go to break. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt in here. Kenny Wilhite and Coach, how you say your last name again? Jamrod. We'll be right back.
He was talking about you blowing the coverage.
That was you, Kenny.
Need an adventure? How about the bright lights of Vegas? The magic of Orlando? Or the sunshine of Orange County? Now you can reach them all with new flights from LNK on Breeze Airways. Stretch out, relax, and enjoy the flight. Your vacation starts the moment you board at LNK. Book today at LincolnAirport.com. LNK. Make flying easy.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Do the holidays make you humbug? Then get happy again with Nebraska Lottery Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets. They're fast, fun, easy, and make great stocking stuffers, party favors, or last-minute gifts. Hey, they even put a smile on Scrooge's face. Stop by your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and pick up a pocket full of Merry Money Holiday Scratch Tickets today. They'll make your spirit bright. Top prize odds vary by game.
Fight fans, Dynasty Combat Sports returns to the Pinnacle Bank Arena on Friday, November 21st for a massive night of cage fighting action. UFC veteran Derek Minner headlines as he faces Missouri's Jacob Ritchie. In the co-main event, Lincoln's Nate Morrow battles Ashton Caniglia, with Sean Lindgren and Jeremy Small throwing down in the featured pro bout. Local prospects Easton Edmond, Boudin, and Andrew Huffman lead the amateur side. 16 total fights are set for another electric night in the cage. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com or the arena box office. Fight card subject to change.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
We are back in studio here on Bock in the Black Shirt. Thanks for joining us. We've got quite a collection of football minds here today, as Kenny Wilhite in for K-Dub Tuesday, but also Jeff Jamrock, Midland coach, in with us as well. We can get to some picks and let Kenny know how he did last week here in just a minute. But we did have a few questions on the text line for Coach Jamrock, so I want to make sure while we have him in studio, we can get to those. I don't know. Obviously, you do pay attention to high school football, as you've got to get some recruits out of the state of Nebraska. Dylan Bennett asked, "What is your take on the crazy season that Village South is having?"
Boy, I've never seen anything like it. Coach Mendenhall's done a heck of a job there. Actually, his brother-in-law is Zane Stinger, and Stinger's brother at Nebraska. So he's done a heck of a job. Yeah, the talent, I've never seen like the scores and just how many Division I and FCS and all those kind of players. Pretty impressive. It's going to be a challenge in that state championship game, but man, impressive.
Yeah, it certainly has been. Do you? I mean, obviously they've been able to bring that roster together. Do you think it's good for the state of Nebraska to have a team that maybe could compete nationally, or do you think it would be better for the state of Nebraska to have a little bit more balance in Class A?
Yeah, I don't know if this is a one-off.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But boy, I mean, yeah, it's tough to talk about seeing results that you've never seen before.
Yeah.
But yeah, give them credit. But I tell you what, you never know. All it takes is one night. They're not playing the kind of football, and anyone can beat anyone. But it's they played awful well against Westside, and they've done it against everyone. So I know Papio South, right, is going to be playing them for the title, and Coach Clemenger's done a heck of a job there. So he'll have them ready, and I'm sure those guys are believing that on any given
day can get beat.
I think is it Tuesday they play.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a heck of a game. Looking forward to watching that in person.
I had another question off the text line too. Is just kind of wondering. I'll paraphrase a little bit. Is where do you do a majority of your recruiting for Midland? Is it here in the state of Nebraska?
Yeah, majority. I would say probably 65% of our kids come from the state of Nebraska. Learned that early on in recruiting. When you can get kids that come from a driving distance, you got a much better chance. I'll never forget recruiting Fabian Washington. Ended up being whatever it was 18th pick of the draft. Was a great DB at Nebraska. I knew we had a pretty good shot at him. His mom worked 3 jobs. Didn't watch him play on Friday nights, and knew we had a shot. Just because distance wasn't going to be a factor at Midland. Like I said, most of our kids come from Nebraska, but we also go get kids from some surrounding states, Texas. Big one's been California. We've had some good luck with some junior college California players as well over my tenure. We've had some good Florida kids, Alaska. We've had a couple good Hawaiian kids. But I'll tell you what's interesting about it, probably 2 of the best players I've had at Midland. You ready for this? Guess what level of ball that they played at the high school level? Yes,
He's whispering.
Eight man. Guy that just finished up, just broke the school record. Tyson Dinkert from Kennesaw, ironically, was coached by one of my fellow teammates at Nebraska, kicker Craig Schnitzler. And then his brother played too, Rob Schnitzler at Nebraska. But old Schnitz had this running back. I'll never forget going home visit him and just see him play at the state championship game. He had 55 carries in one game. His durability is unbelievable. Has great balance. He's going to be a 3-time first-team all-conference running back at our place. The other one is a guy named Trevor Havovich from Brainerd East Butler. Everyone knows the Macavickas that came from Brainerd East Butler. But another one that has had an outstanding career. So sometimes, it's great to get Class A players, guys that come from great programs and the lifting program, et cetera. But man, sometimes it's nice to get a good old tough farm kid from Brainerd East Butler, or like I said, Tyson Dinkert from Kennesaw. There's good players at all levels in the state of Nebraska. I have a lot of respect for the high school coaches that do a great job. Everyone knows how people love football in the state of Nebraska, and so why not get those kids that want to keep on continuing playing ball?
I have one final question here, and you can send more if you have any more for Coach Jamrock here, 402-464-5685. Again, this one might be hard because you've had so many different roles, but your favorite moment at the University of Nebraska?
Favorite moment? Oh, man. That's a really good question. Probably senior day. Now, just because of the culmination of just what all it took to get there with just so many people, just some great people, friends for life. I mean, guys like Tom Banderas, Clete Blakeman, Doug Welniak, guys you still keep in contact with. But just that was just one day it really stands out. Now, that day was a tough one because it was the game of the century, too. We were 1 and Oklahoma was 2, and I think we ended up losing that game 17-7. But just that was one memory. Man, there are so many over the years that, those are tough questions. It's just what is your favorite memory? Just some outstanding games. I mean, winning on last second when we beat Northwestern, that was really neat. I would say that another one would be calling up guys. When I was with Coach Pelini, he says, go ahead and tell them they're on scholarship. So I'd call them into the office and tell them that they're going to be put on scholarship and get their parents on the phone. And sometimes they thought they were in trouble. Get your parents on the phone and you're calling them up, telling them that their son's going on scholarship. So that was a really cool moment because that dream, was being fulfilled. And I just remember that feeling when that might be another one just from an individual standpoint, when Coach Osborne called me in after a couple of years and says, we're going to put you on scholarship, that is right there. So a lot of great memories. There's too many to talk about in this segment.
Well, fair enough. Now I got to know between the two of you, because you both are very well connected. And I'm thinking all these names that you guys, can talk about over the years, all the coach, the players that have been, who's got more contacts in their phone between the two of you think?
I think he may have more because he's been in it longer than I have. He's going to have a couple more than I am. But again, I'm going to second something he said. Being a former player, being on staff. I mean, I owe a lot to Jeff. He called me one day and said, K-Dub, we're going to create some recruiting positions here. Would you be interested in coming back to Nebraska? I said, Jeff, I would love to. So he gave me the opportunity to come back to Nebraska. And then that role, when I took over that role as the walk-on program coordinator, being able to tell a kid or having to call a kid up to the office to let him know, not tell him, but tell him, hey, head coach wants to see you. And then that kid get put on scholarship, just the satisfaction and the rewarding of that kid and his parents, his hard work had paid off for him. There's no other feeling behind it. Just watching a kid and his parents cry about being put on scholarship and knowing his work. So that's one of my all-time favorite too.
I got a great story here. I got to share this one with you. So when Coach talked about who we're going to put on scholarships, I remember vividly this telling Coach, hey, Coach, there's also kind of a loophole rule that second semester now we can put a guy on scholarship and take him off, which we did with some guys. And then it has to be, I think it was 1 year lapse, and you can put him back on again. So we had these open scholarships, and I brought up to Coach. I said, hey, we ought to be thinking about Janovich. Now, we promised Andy Janovich one after 2 years. That's what's pretty cool about this. He had a really good offer to Kearney, maybe half ride. And I don't think the Kearney coach at the time is like, Moy, Nebraska's not going to win if they're taking guys like Andy. Well, he was wrong on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, we put one on Andy. We promised him 2, but he came in and played as a true freshman. We put him on his last 3 years. That was pretty cool because we gave him one year earlier than what we promised him. But anyhow, going back to putting on a kid on for a semester or that, and then taking them off. So Coach Pelini goes, hey, tell these guys that hopefully they continue to do well, but there's a chance this is only a 1 semester deal. I'll never forget calling in Sam Foltz and go, Sam, we're putting you on. And he was really excited. And I go, understand now. I go, you could also come off, depending on how things go. And he goes, Coach Shamrock, he goes, I will not be coming off. He goes, you will like what you see. And I'm like, that was so cool. And he's right. He never came off.
One of the best.
No doubt. But yeah, Kenny was a great hire, and I've known Kenny a long time. And when the opportunity came, what year was that, Kenny?
2014. It was actually the 2013 season.
Yeah, 2013 season.
End of the 2013 season. I came to
when we went
2014 in the spring.
Yep. When we went to administration and said we need some more help in the recruiting office and we need another guy. I mean, Kenny was the first call made, and I love Kenny. We go way back, and
Mexico State, 1999.
1999. Holy cow!
Wow.
Yeah, some really good stories there. I appreciate that. And Sam Foltz, I only watched as a press member, but going to a couple of those practices, man, his kicks in the game were incredible. But even at practice, it's like, man, this guy's, I've never seen somebody kick a ball so far.
Well, people don't know just how great an athlete he is.
Yes.
I mean, we almost gave him a scholarship just based on him playing safety and wideout in high school. And man, what an awesome young man, awesome family.
Yep.
Man.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. When we get back, we will get Terrell back in the building. We'll talk about some picks. We'll see if Coach Jamrog's able to follow along college football as a whole too much. We'll see. We'll get to that next year as we close out Bock The Blackshirt on 93.7 The Ticket.
Go hog wild, pit barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at GoHogWild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com. Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Fight fans, Dynasty Combat Sports returns to the Pinnacle Bank Arena on Friday, November 21st for a massive night of cage fighting action. UFC veteran Derek Minner headlines as he faces Missouri's Jacob Ritchie. In the co-main event, Lincoln's Nate Morrow battles Ashton Caniglia, with Sean Lindgren and Jeremy Small throwing down in the featured pro bout. Local prospects Easton Edmond, Boudin, and Andrew Huffman lead the amateur side. 16 total fights are set for another electric night in the cage. Tickets available now at Ticketmaster.com or the arena box office. Fight card subject to change.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines, unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bock the Blackshirt with K-Dub Tuesday in the house. And Bock, we got a question for Coach, man.
Yeah, we do hear another question coming in here. Let's see, from Shim from Hallam. Says, question for Coach. I went to high school with Steve Stannard. I know you guys were friends. Just wondering if you still talk to him this day. Great dude, but haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, Steve, we shoot texts every now and then. I saw him last summer. His daughter came up actually to Midland's volleyball camp, and his other son's playing up at South Dakota State. But yeah, Steve and I, great friends and great guy. And I know he's enjoying his time down in Manhattan, down at K-State. But yeah, we go way back to, about 1984.
Well, Coach, I seen your girls' Midland flag football team.
Yeah.
They played Nebraska intramural team, and they beat the brakes off that team. And those girls are so athletic out there. I have to give it up to whoever recruited them. That they're some of the, it makes me want to watch flag football more for girls because of some of the competitive ways they have.
Yeah, their season's starting up here before too long, and I thought you were going to ask me a question if we do 7-on-7 against each other. But yeah, I'll tell you what, it's pretty impressive.
Hey, they look like they've been practicing against some guys, so that's how good they were.
Yeah, it's impressive. They got some gals from all over the country, and they started that up as a sport. The NFL started that with colleges and gave them some money if you want to start up a program. And we got 33 sports at Midland. We have every sport known to man and woman, and it's awesome that we're giving women an opportunity. I know Coach Rule, he's been awesome embracing that, talking about women flag football. And, it's cool to see those girls compete and opportunities for women.
Now, I got to ask you a question. So you was there at Nebraska in 84.
Correct.
Y'all go to UCLA out there and play that game. Did Steve Taylor set D-Rock up on that swing pass?
Oh, yeah.
I've been wanting to ask that question for quite some time.
It was actually a drag route. It wasn't a swing pass. It was a drag route. So, Jeff, answer the question.
Yeah, it sure looked like it.
So we give Steve a hard time about that, and he said D-Rock was supposed to stop.
What's that?
He said D-Rock was supposed to sit down, but D-Rock kept going. So,
yeah,
it's never going to be Steve's fault anyway. So,
yeah. That's funny. That may have been the time. Wait, what year was that?
I think it was 84.
No,
80 what?
It was later. That may be the game that Leroy ATN, we used to call him Leroy 8, 9, 10, at halftime said, "Come on, you guys." He goes, "I'd do anything for you. I'd die for you guys." Then John Melton, this is a classic line of all lines. He goes, "Hey, Leroy, before you die, why don't you tackle someone?"
So for those of you who do not know who Leroy Etienne is, he was a linebacker. He was a big-time linebacker here in Nebraska back in the 80s. And, that was
New Iberia, Louisiana. Boy, built like a brick house.
He was built like a brick house.
Yeah, he was impressive linebacker. 47.
Well, Coach, is y'all season over? Y'all still have a couple more games?
No, we just finished up. We missed the playoffs, but yeah, we're getting ready. 2026 has already started, and hitting the weight room hard next week, and a couple days before Thanksgiving, and yeah, we're full swing in the recruiting and all the good stuff.
All right, Coach. So I'll get you some guys, some football guys, numbers in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And we'll try to see
it.
if we can get some up here. I think we have one guy from Columbus, Georgia on the team this year. He's a transfer from Alabama, Pritchett.
Right.
So, and I think he's really got back into the swing of things of learning Nebraska way type of football. And I think he's playing excellent right now.
Yeah, let's get some Georgia guys. Let's do it.
Just don't want no Farleys.
You need some.
We don't need no hotheads.
I'm not a hothead on the field. What are you talking about? I'm the best coachable guy you probably ever see.
Now, Coach Jamrock, obviously being a coach, you're pretty busy. How much college football, Husker football, are you able to kind of take in?
Yeah, I try to take some in after the games, get home. That's a good part about playing in the GPAC. You don't have too many far games. A lot of them are about 2.5 hours or less. But I try to, as many as my wife will let me watch when I get home. But yeah, I've seen parts of some Nebraska games. I think the one time we did have a bye week, I saw the whole game. It was fun to watch them. Coach Rule, I think, is doing an outstanding job, and good friends with Mike Eckler. We talk ball every year. He's done a great job on special teams this year, and so I like watching as much as I can.
It's interesting too, because we didn't hit on that portion of it. I know you've been special teams coach before in your career as well. We've seen how much of an impact, I don't want to say one coach can make, but what 1 year can make. What Coach Eck has done is very special there. What have you seen that position evolve over the years? I remember, because I think at the time you were defensive line coach and special teams coach at Nebraska. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, it's evolved to back in the day. Well, people do it different ways. Sometimes it's one coach doing it that has the title, but some people don't have the title and they spread out. Like this coach has punt, this coach has punt return. I do it at Midland. I am the special teams coordinator. There are some that have done it that way, but it's a lot of different ways to get it done. I told you that story earlier about that coach said to me back in '92, you want to be academic coordinator, or you want to be special teams coordinator? It's the best decision I ever made, saying I want to be special teams coordinator. It's a big part of the game. A lot of people say it's important, head coaches and that, but then you go watch them practice. I love to go watch practices across the country, and you look at it and it's like, you can tell who emphasizes it and who doesn't by just going watching practice. And you play like you practice. So those teams that don't play well practice are on special teams. There's a reason for it.
All right. Before we get out of here too, I know Kenny wanted to at least highlight the fact that he went 7-3 this past week, which is pretty good in his picks in college football. Terrell, of course, went 8-2. We heard all about that yesterday. So at this point, I think Terrell might have a slight win percentage lead over you, Kenny, but you're still in the race.
I'm coming to get you, brother.
Bock.
If I told
what
you
race?
If I told you if I wouldn't have started late, I would.
Yeah, that's your bad. That's not my bad. My job is to win as many games as I can win towards the end of the year, and I could be that my champion. Bock won last year. I won the year before,
and he won the year before that. So
he's
leading 2-1.
Two-time champ. Yeah.
It was 3 of us then back when we did it with the captain. He never won. So you have to think about things like that. We have guys that never won. So I'm fighting for my second champion. Bock is 4 games behind me. He'll be another 8 games behind me after this week.
So if I have a better win percentage than you, what is that?
That just gets you nothing. You started late.
You have to have a personal bet there.
You have to just. You won't be the official winner, but
I will be the official winner. Better win percentage.
You'll be the winner in your own mind.
With an asterisk next to it.
With an asterisk next to it. Okay.
All right. Thank you, listening to Bock in the Black Shirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. It was fun having K-Dub and Coach
Jamrod.
And I got
Jamrod. Jamrog.
Okay.
Jamrog.
Okay, I got it right. Jamrod.
Jamrod.
All right.
There you go.
Stay tuned for Jay Foreman and Austin up next, and also Window World Wednesday tomorrow with 2-time national champion Todd Euler in the house.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with